Hello, and welcome to Hope for Felons podcast, where we discuss felons and everything in between. Your host for this show is Douglas Van Vliet. Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, and welcome back to Hope for Felons, where today we're doing a review on the Chester router. And I want to say, the reason that I wanted to do this video is, as everybody knows, with our organization, we try to save money. And this router is real pricey, but he was able to give us, I think it was $70 or $75 off the original price. I think the original price was $500 and something, which is out of this world. But, we have decided that we thought that this would work, and we wanted to give it a chance. But the problem is when I got the device, I think it took about 2 or 3 days to receive the device, but when I got the device and opened the box, there was no documentation at all. There's 2 different types of antennas. Did it say where to put them? No. You basically have to figure out everything yourself, which for business, it's very unprofessional to have this type of a sale without any documentation. Especially these days. These days, it should be at least a PDF file that you can go on their website and download. But you always have like a basic installation guide, and that was not there. So basically, I followed because it had like the 2-point-something antennas marked on the antenna, plus it was marked on the router. So I was able to figure it out, and I put my SIM card in and everything and plugged it up, and then I couldn't get into the settings of the router. So I had to call Chester Tech Repair. I was like, look, how do I get in this thing? How do I, go about hooking everything up? So he said, well, you got to go to the website, and there's a video that shows how to get in there. And I said, okay. So I watched the video. I was able to get in there. I done what the video said, and only thing I could get was like a point something download. It wasn't even a meg download speed when I do a speed test. So, that was really frustrating. So I call Chester Tech Repair, which is, I guess it's run by a one-man operation. But anyway, I told him, I said, this is not doing right. So basically, he was able to use a program, TeamViewer, I think it was, and he was able to log in. He made a lot of changes, reboot. We worked on this for I'd say for an hour, 2 hours. He could never figure it out. His thing was, he thought it was a bad SIM. So I had a brand new SIM card here, and I had it activated using the same company as he uses, which is T-Mobile for Business. And never could get it work right, never. But I could take that same SIM card and place it in an Inseego, and I would automatically get $250 to $300 on a download. So I was like, something's wrong with this router. It's not the SIM card, because the SIM card works good in another device. And so, make a long story short, he was like, I can send you a brand new one. I was like, well, let me think about it. Because this is frustrating. You know, when you get a device and you pay that kind of money for it, it don't come with instructions, and you just wonder, what in the world here? Why? You know. But to make a long story short, I said, well, you know, maybe I should just have you send another one. And that was really against my bad judgment. But then finally, the final decision was, I believe I'd take a refund. Would you refund me the whole thing? Well, he come up and he says, well, I'll refund everything minus the 2 shipping charges, the shipping to you and shipping back. Basically, he didn't want to cover the shipping at all. And I think if you cannot get it going through logging in the computer, doing what you got to do, you can't get it going, then I shouldn't be responsible. And he tells me once upon receiving the router that he was able to put a SIM card in and it took right off. Well, you know what? I find that hard to believe. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I feel that to be hard to believe, because if my SIM card that was in the device works fine and then Seago, then I know something's wrong with that router. May not be something wrong, but they may be settings that was wrong. And with him not being as knowledgeable, he actually said on the phone, he said, look, I do not know much about this product. He builds this product, but he does not know a lot about it. And I think, you know, when you go to the Nader Tater channel, you know, he's been reviewing this router and said it's the fastest router he's ever came across. So I was like, you know, that's possible. It may be, you know, and I'm not saying that it's not. You know, I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that there's an issue. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just saying that it did not work for me. And then when you call them, I'm very unprofessional, because he's on the phone trying to help me, plus he's on the phone trying to help everybody else. He didn't have it organized where he could call them back to help them. He's basically trying to help everybody at one time. It does not work good that way. So I was never given the undivided attention as I should have gotten. So there was a big issue there. And I think that was one of the fallbacks as well, is that we could not, you know, could get it running. And, you know something's wrong when you can't even get a 1 megabyte on a download. But then you put your SIM card in another device and you get great download. So explain that, explain that, because I just, I have it hard to believe that there was an issue with my SIM card if it worked in another device, and I can't stress that enough. But I do want to say, please be cautious when ordering this device, because it's so expensive, does not come with any directions. You do not get the help that you need one-on-one. And I just felt that this is very, very unprofessional. And I wanted to make sure that I make a video on it. I wish that Nader Tater would come out with something similar. And because I know before he would even put it in a box, I know he'd have proper documentation. That's just the way he is. He's a very, very great person and very knowledgeable about these, all these types of 5G routers, that take a SIM. So I just wanted to come on here and give my honest review about this Chester Tech repair. I just think it's very, very unprofessional, and I wish I would have made a video while I was setting everything up, but I never was able to do that. So just be cautious, be very cautious, and I would say if you have to pay more money to get a decent router, do it. I know that T-Mobile's been given the FX2000, and it's an Inseego FX2000. That's what they've been given when you sign up for the business internet. And I'm actually a mile and a half away from the T-Mobile tower. So the Inseego Wavemaker FX2000 I never could get it to work exactly the way I wanted it, you know. Because my goal was to at least have 400 meg on a download and at least 30 on an upload. And I know that that's possible because when I would use the T-Mobile home internet device, then I could actually get that. And you probably say, well, why didn't you use that? Well, when you plug it up to a server, then there's issues. So my goal was to eliminate all those issues, which is no port forwarding, no static IP. And see, I have a static IP on this plan that I'm on with the tablet plan. So it cost me a total of $18 a month for internet for our server, which is cool. And it does good. At the moment, I'm running it off of the Inseego Wavemaker FX2000, but I just ordered an Inseego FG 2000, and it's actually a lot larger, but they said it has a lot larger antennas, a lot better, so I'll be testing that out. It's supposed to actually be here today, and I'll let you know how that works. But I just wanted to make sure that I let you know that please be cautious when trying to deal with Chester Repair, buying these routers. I think what I would do personally is wait 6 months to a year and see if his product gets better, see if they're able to start providing proper documentation, and then I would go from there. But, my honest opinion would be not to buy it, to try to find another company. There's several companies out there that sell routers, and they're actually good. They're decent routers. And I will post a link whenever I'm able to check and make sure this FG2000 is good. Now, according to the T-Mobile technician that is in Greensboro, he said that this would definitely give me a lot better speed and everything with the Inseego FG2000. So I've tried to purchase it one time through Amazon. There was an issue and I never received it. But today we was able to, it's actually out for delivery, so I know I'll get it. So I just wanted to say that there's issues with this Chester router, and I would just advise to hold off for a while, at least until there's proper documentation and whatever the situation is, why that router did not work. It could not have been the SIM, as I've said many times. It has to be something with the device, and I just want to let you know. And if you have any comments or you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.